What is up, everyone? JD here. I hope you're doing well today. Got a review for you? Let's get into it. Really excited to check this one out, guys. We got a new knife coming over from Kizer via the Pass Around group. Shout out to Kevin over on Lefty EDC. Thank you for that pass around and the opportunity to check these out. These are some really cool knives that I just don't know if I would necessarily get to check out if it wasn't for that. So what are we looking at, guys? We are looking at the Kizer Momo. This is an interesting one for sure. I'm really excited to check this out. I swear, guys, it's going to be really interesting. Let's go ahead and check it out. All right, what we're going to do today is we're going to do some size comparisons, profile comparisons. We'll weigh the knife, and then we'll jump into thoughts and impressions. Let's kick it off with a couple of budget knife comparisons. First, we got the Devo Growler. That one is going to be more of a medium-sized EDC, one that I really like. Very similar to the Morial, very much bug-out size, like right in that medium wheelhouse there. And then we're going to bring out the Civivi Amorite. The Amorite is going to be more of your full-size knife comparison, and you can tell the Momo is definitely a big boy. So we'll hang on to the Amorite here for just a moment, and we'll bring in the Spyderco Para 3 Lightweight. And you can see the lightweight definitely looks very small, very companion carry-esque compared to the Momo. And then we'll bring out the Spyderco Shaman. These are going to be very comparable or representative of your Rat 1 and Rat 2. And you can see the Momo is not for the faint of heart at all. Let's do some profile comparisons with that Momo here. This thing here is a guillotine for sure with that big heavy blade. And you can see coming in a little bit thicker than the Amorite on the screen. And then we'll do a comparison to the Shaman as well. And then with the Shaman, even a little bit more girth with the contoured scales than the Shaman. In pocket, let's take a look. We got this pocket clip here. Basically, your stopping point is going to be right here. So it's going to carry kind of medium depth here in between the Amorite and the Shaman. And it's going to have just as much sticking out of the pocket. Actually, a little bit more. Yeah, a little bit more than the Shaman. And just to kind of show you that pocket clip there, you can see that pocket clip stops right there. So you got a lot that's left to hang out. Let me go ahead and set these comparison knives to the side, and we'll grab the weight, and then we'll kick it down to the garage just to show some quick cutting with this one. So the weight on this one coming in at 5.3 ounces, which is pretty impressive. Just to show for reference, that's very comparable to your Shaman. So Shaman coming in at 5.2, 5.3 on that Momo, which is again very impressive for a full-size knife. Let's go ahead and kick that down to the garage, and let's take a quick look at some cuts. Here we are down in the garage. This is a pass round, guys, so not going to do a whole lot of cutting with this one, but I'm just curious. This feels like a big folding kitchen knife, and I am very interested in the geometry. Ergonomically, there's just so much room on here. It would be hard not to claim it comfortable. I do notice that pocket clip, though, so I'll touch on that up there. Very nice factory edge, guys. Very slicey, very impressive for the size of the knife. And just a couple passes through here. Very good. Yeah, no issues whatsoever. Very acute tip. I feel like this would do really good with some, again, cutting tasks that are more kitchen oriented. Let's go ahead and kick that back up to the desk. All right, guys, there are your cut tests with this one. And, right out the gate, Kizer's 154 cm has a nice factory edge. They continue to do really good things with 154 cm. It's got a nice slicey geometry to it. It's not super thick at all. It definitely feels like a folding kitchen knife. You got nice acute tip. You got a ton of belly. It's going to put you in a really nice position to where you can do cutting through big pieces of fruit and meat. You're going to be able to do a lot of tabletop cutting. I mean, this really feels like something you could throw in a camper. If you like to go camping, if you like to do, some food prep while you're out adventuring, things like that, I feel like that's where this is really going to shine. You only have the front flipper as the means of deployment, but you can kick it out if you can get a good grip and you have good dexterity in your fingers. You can reverse flick it, but definitely not what it was intended to do. Ergonomically, again, very comfortable, very well chamfered down. The steel liners are milled out and they are flush with the actual scales themselves, so that part is very comfortable. My one complaint is this pocket clip is up a little high. For me, when I'm holding it in hand, I do notice that the tip here is a little bit too acute. So that does kind of poke into the palm a little bit. And then I notice my hand kind of comes over and lands on that. I think if they would have lowered that, it probably would be a little bit more comfortable. You got the ability to choke way up here for detailed work. You got a nice big handle for relaxed grip. And then if you're doing chopping tasks, you can go way back on there and get your tabletop chop going there. I don't know why that rhymed. All of that will work really good with this one. You have okay access to that liner lock, but for me, I don't think of this as an EDC knife. I really do think of this as kind of like a folding kitchen knife. It is very big, very large, feels like it could handle cutting your meats. Things that would be a little bit harder to get through. It feels like you're going to have a lot of drive and a lot of leverage to kind of cut through things on a tabletop. So to me, this feels like, just a folding kitchen knife more than it does a daily carry. You do have ceramic bearings in the pivot. It does look like they are on nylon washers. I can't disassemble this because it is pass around. It's not mine, guys. Yeah, so you got, what are they called? The Delrin washers, where they're on they're caged nylon with ceramic bearings. They're going to hold up really, really well. Going to be easy to clean. I'd probably say, run them dry without any oil, so you don't have to worry about that. And then this should be relatively easy to disassemble and maintenance. I'm trying to see if it's just this one screw. No, there's two more. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. Hold on one second. There's two more under here. You see those studs on the back spacer? So these covers will come off. I would imagine you'll take this. Oh, it is going to be complex. Maybe. Maybe. It looks like you take these two off, undo these two screws in your pocket clip, and your pivot. So it is going to be a little bit of an extra step. So running it dry will make it easier for when you wash this off to clean it. And those ceramic bearings, they should do just fine on those steel liners there. Could you EDC this? Absolutely. It would just be, a larger EDC, and you would just really have to love the front flipper only. I think that would be the big thing on here. You could probably put some studs right here, and you probably could have a good experience with that, and it doesn't put it in the cutting path, but it would need to be notched here in order for that to work. Yeah. If you put them right here, you would just need to have that notched. And it looks like the stop pin's far enough back there, so it would be quite the mod to add some studs on here. Otherwise, you're putting them in the cutting path here, and I don't know that it's necessarily going to be flush because that swedge is right there. So I don't know that that would be a good idea. Doesn't look like thumb studs would work, guys, because if you put them on here, it would be right where it lands on the frame, and that is a lot of modding just to throw a set of studs on here. So to me, this is going to be a front flipper only, and very clean profile for like kitchen cutting tasks. It's coming in at $100. That would be up to you whether or not this is worthwhile. I don't know that I can really make alternative recommendations, considering that this feels very much like, a folding kitchen knife to me. It's very well built, You know, I like Kizer's 154 cm. I think this would hold an edge a really long time. You know, if you threw this in a overnight bag or camp bag or in with your camping gear, you know, I think it would be a very nice folding kitchen knife that you could use for a lot of food prep. And you could probably even, you know, if you just wanted the one knife in there, you could probably use this to cut your steak to kind of, you know, eat your dinner. I think it would work really well. You can get really far up on here. It's got really good ergos for that, you know, actually very, very comfortable. You could do cut your steak, poke it, eat it with it very carefully. It is very sharp, but it's going to be stainless. So pretty cool little model. And I like to see different stuff. You know, it doesn't always have to be, you know, a very common or hard to get sometimes folding knife that you would EDC. You know, sometimes it's nice to see something different, different applications for the knife. So I'm glad to see that. You know, this is a really cool option from Kizer, and it's very well built. Feels very solid in the hand. Let me know what you think about the Momo down in the comments below. Shout out to everyone out there for leaving likes, commenting, subscribing, watching this far into the video. All of it helps the algorithm. Special thank you to my channel members. I appreciate that extra support. I love you guys. I hope you have a fantastic week. Until next time, peace.